It's a story older than time. The story of humans and cats. For 10,000 years, we have lived amongst each other. Sometimes harmoniously, sometimes not. But if there's one thing that drives me crazy about people and their cats, it just makes me so hot under the collar, and it makes me want to cry all at the same time. All right, everybody. You know, I am going to keep my hat and my poncho on because I enjoy looking like Clint Eastwood in Fistful of Dollars. That's just my thing. I dress up like this a lot. As a matter of fact, if you took a look around the cat cave right now, you would see the remnants of a lot of costumes that I have put on over time, which I'm sure are floating around my head as we speak. But that is the point of today's rant or scoop. Today is the scoop on dressing up our cats for Halloween. Now, I know, as soon as I say that, there's a whole bunch of you out there that are like, oh, come on, really? I get it. It's enjoyable to have that visual of your cat dressed up as whatever. And I'm smiling when I say this, but it really bothers me. Like, I really don't like to put human clothing values on cats. And what I hate even worse is when folks go, no, but they love it. They really know, honestly, Sheba loves being dressed up like, Clint Eastwood. Not that I speak for all cats on the planet, because there's hundreds of millions of them, but most do not like it. For all of you guys who have ever tried to harness train your cats, which I absolutely advocate for, I think it's a great idea for the cats who want to be walked outside, that's important, is that when you put something around them or on them, it immediately sends them into a bit of a panic, because they're not meant to experience that, So as soon as we start to put something around them that constrains them in any way, they are going to, more times than not, fight back. And so we know that putting things on top of our cat, it doesn't feel good to them. Their hair follicle receptors, their whiskers, they're not meant to deal with that. So that's one thing. So I just want to refute most of you that are going, but my cat likes it. No, I don't think your cat does like it. And I think by you saying that, you're really trying to say, but I like it so much. And everybody on Instagram loves it so much, or TikTok, whenever I put up stuff like this, that you try to make it pretend like your cat likes it. And in reality, honestly, you guys, and I'm not going to speak for the dogs out there in the world, but I'm sure there'd be a dog or two out there that would be really psyched if I said this also. A lot of dogs don't like it either. Sorry to say. Secondly, it sends a message that I think is really just irresponsible, that we're trying to get cats to be more human or more dog-like, and they're neither. That's not who cats are, because they're barely domesticated animals, because this is an animal who has followed us along the timeline of tens of thousands of years, mainly because, we just had a sort of mutual understanding. We do good by each other, so we just keep going, and now we're thinking that they've come far enough along that they can get in with this joke, like, oh, no, Gracie really wants to go trick-or-treating with the kids. I don't know. It again, not giving credence to who they are, to what this deal is that we have made with cats over time, which was we just allowed cats to be themselves, to be who they were, and we met in the middle with them. This is not meeting in the middle, This is really stepping over the line. And finally, when it comes to lack of respect, I'll say this also. I will put it into one single word, and that word is consent. If your cat had a say in this, my guess is they'd be like, yeah, I get it, but, but instead we sort of force it on them. That's not cool if it came from a person to another person, and it's not cool coming from a person coming to a cat. It's just, we should be asking. And I know it's hard, some of you are like, oh, really? I got to ask my cat if it's okay if I do this or that? Yeah, actually, that's what I'm saying. And I've been saying that throughout almost every video, every episode of TV, every book that I've written, every public talk that I've done. It's there. It's underneath it all. This is about a relationship. This is not about ownership. This is about relationship. And part of relationship is consent. And without your cat verbally or otherwise being able to give that consent, then you, as their human guardian, need to make decisions that you just have to assume are in their best interest. And let's face it, when it comes to the frivolity of putting your cat in a costume, that is not you making the most responsible decision for your cat family member. Like if you had a child, if you wanted your child to dress up like a transformer, and your kid has no idea who the Transformers are and wants nothing to do with it, and you put that costume on them and they cry and they take the mask off and they throw it down on the ground, after a while you're probably just going to give up because you're not going to get that perfect picture of your child in the Transformer costume. But your cats don't know how to say to you, I hate this, by crying or by saying, I hate this. They just will wriggle around, they'll get really still, they'll just hide, they'll do all kinds of things, or they'll just try to wiggle it off. I don't feel like I'm asking all that much of you guys, Dress yourself up, dress me up. Well, I'm more than game, as you have seen on my TV show, although I will say there are a couple things I had to wear on TV that I didn't have my full consent, but that's for another day. Hello, pirate outfit. Anyway, so if you take this into consideration, physically it doesn't really feel all that good for them. Secondly, it's against their nature. Third, it defies consent. And that is just a real base concept when it comes to relationship. And I want you guys to have the best possible relationship. And I guess the final point is, I can't even describe the churning in my gut every time I open up Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever and see an animal in a costume. It just wrenches my gut a little bit. Costumes are just a bad look. I guess at the end of all this, let's just appreciate our cats for who they are. Let's dress up our spouses and let's dress up ourselves and all the humans around us and whatever, but let's leave our cats out of it, you guys. And while I'm at it, let's maybe think about leaving the dogs out of it as well. I know it's a whole other story, and you guys are like, well, who makes you the dog guy, I don't know. I have dogs and they hate costumes, all of them. Listen, you guys, I love costumes. I love dressing up. I love talking in different dialects. I love having my little props that don't want to stay in my mouth. I love all of it. But cats, I'm sorry, Greenhorn. You don't know cats if you think they want to be in costumes. Go and think about that for a minute. In the meantime, I'm going to take a siesta. All light and all love and all cat mojo to you. Yeah.